Now, you guys, the Patreon poll had an equal vote for both Torino and Bayer Leverkusen. Me and Dad decided we'll go for Torino this time round. However, in a couple of weeks' time, we'll probably do Leverkusen to make up for everybody.
It was an hard decision because we like both teams, really.
Yeah, absolutely. The reason for going with Torino is because they are really in more of a rebuild, that need of a rebuild, than Leverkusen. Leverkusen are kind of in the midst of one right now. Torino, one of the most historic clubs in Italy.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
But a long time ago.
Yeah, in the 1940s, they won the league 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
There was a little break in between somewhere before the war, but they actually, when they come back again, they won it again.
Yeah, we can see here the Serie A. We got 1943 through to 49.
Yeah.
But that, of course, ended in another tragedy.
Yeah, it was, yeah. The 1949 winning team actually was involved in a plane crash and killed the entire squad.
Yeah.
So then it was like a complete rebuild for the team, and unfortunately they suffered quite badly for it, and from what I can gather it started going down the leagues, or a couple of leagues I think. But yeah, it wasn't a good time, but one of the most successful Italian sides, as I'm said.
Yeah, absolutely. Considering like they are one of the most successful for not having touched a trophy really for a number of years, in 30 years, this historic club is definitely in need of a rebuild.
2005 they went bankrupt, so they're doing a rebuild for themselves really. 15, 16 years ago, but they're still building.
Yeah. So from the capital Turin, a club culture of play defensively solid football. That doesn't happen very often in Football Manager. This is going to be a difficult one.
Yeah.
Their capitano, Andrea Bellotti, I would say is their star player. He is a fantastic striker.
Yeah, anybody would take him, I think, wouldn't they?
Yeah, a few years ago as well, he was banging in 26 goals in 35 games, so he is unbelievable. And their vice-captain, Bremer, I'd say, is their second best player, a Brazilian centre-back aged 24.
No reason for us to buy a Brazilian, anyway.
Exactly that. Yeah. He is a fantastic player to look at. Now, we don't get given a lot of money at the start, so I reinvested it in the staff instead because they had hardly any good coaches. So if I take a look at the transfers itself, they have started bringing in players in real life. So with the winter update, we have managed to accumulate a couple of players, and we've got a couple of players that are on loan with a view to buy, but we'll take a look at that in a sec. But what I have managed to do is bring in some staff members with me, including a couple of goalkeeper coaches, didn't have any, a technical director, that's mainly I use to keep going all the staff members, coaches and contracts and stuff like that, and a performance analyst as well. So if we go to the squad, we have a lot of players. We can hide the players who are out on loan, but if you take a look at all the players in blue, they're all the players that are on loan. There's a lot of players in there, but one of the best ones is Samuel Ricci, or Ricky, I think. He is a young 20-year-old wonder kid on this game, but we do have an optional future fee of just 7.25 million.
That's not bad, is it?
It's a really good price, and what I'm thinking is with the transfer money that we have right now, save it because we can use it later on down the line.
Yeah.
We also have this man joining on a permanent who is on loan right now from Juve, another really good centre midfielder. So what I'm noticing is some really strong midfield players. Pabega, another loan player from Milan this time round. We don't have an optional future fee on him, but we have him for the rest of the season. Pietro Pellegrini, one of the really good young strikers on the game, Italian, £5.25 million is an optional future fee from Monaco, but it's just whether we can afford it. That's the thing. Because Dennis Praet as well from Leicester, again, £12.75 million. The only downside to this, I guess, we've got the option to sign them, but if we do, that's like transfer budget gone from next season, and we haven't necessarily improved the squad, is it?
No,
because they're all players that were here the first season.
Yeah.
So tactically, then, I was looking at it thinking we are so good in centre mid, and we don't really have a lot of strength out on the wings. I've decided to go for a very narrow formation, but I really like this setup. So if we take a look at our tactic, it is a 4-2-3-1, but the three are in centre midfield on attack. In Football Manager, that's a role which it just seems to be really good in the last couple of years. They just seem to find themselves in and around the edge of the area. And a couple of these players have fantastic player traits of gets forward whenever possible. So although it looks like we've left Bellotti up there by himself and it's just like, you do you, and we'll just focus on not conceding, again, I guess you could say it's defensively minded for the tactical style that they want to play. We're using two ball-winning midfielders. We're using 3 players in front who have like a free row of going forward. The 2 on the outside also have the option of moving into the channels, whereas the one in the middle doesn't, but he has a lot more option going forward and a bit more of a presser. So it is a 4-2-3-1. but it's very narrow and very compact, and we're kind of creating like a mid-block in midfield. It's an attacking mentality that we can see, and Belotti is going to be the poacher role. The roles that I have selected to play every single game are the ones that you can see on the pitch here. And I would dare say it started off quite well in our campaign, because if we take a look at the schedule, a 3-0 victory
against Juventus.
Ooh, derby.
Local derby, yeah.
Yeah.
What else it was called? The Della Mole.
The Della Mole.
That's the
what
derby
I do
name.
find is weird is on the game, it's not classed as a rivalry.
Yeah, we were just talking about this, weren't we? The Sampdoria is more the rivalry for some reason.
Competitive. Well, I'm guessing from the 40s or the 70s when they were good.
Any viewers out there who know exactly why that is, when your main rival is the same team that's in the same town.
Yeah, local rivalry doesn't exist for some reason. But yeah, we had a great win against them anyway. Ricci scored 1 minute into his debut for us, and then Belotti got 2 as well. We had a player sent off, Mandragora, who is actually on loan from Juventus. Got himself sent off after the 83rd minute. But then we lost 3-0 to Inter Milan. Now, they do have the best team in the league.
Yeah.
They tend to win the first season quite often. Joaquin Correa and Eden Dzeko scored 2 there as well, so we're 3-0 at half-time. But I still think it's a good start to the season. We're through to the Coppa Italia after beating Spal. A good 2-0 victory there. After beating them 8-2 in a friendly just before. Like, who's doing these fixtures? Come on. That's just silly, isn't it? Playing them back-to-back.
We were actually the first team to win the Coppa Italia.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was back in 1936, the very first tournament, and we were the first team to win it.
I mean, obviously that's around about the time where they started to get really good in the league as well, so that kind of makes sense. But yeah, so far, I'm quite liking this team. I don't think we need to build too much. I would say if we can be like the best of the rest, that's 7th, 8th place, I'd be happy with that, absolutely. Right, shall we simulate the first season?
Go for it.
Let's do it. And so, the first season, we found ourselves in 5th place.
I'm happy with that.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're only just outside the Champions League spots as well, just by a couple of
points.
Above,
like Juventus, Milan, Sampdoria.
Unbelievable. Fiorentina as well, all the way down there. So, I mean, we've done exceptionally well. Belotti, 40 goals this season.
Ooh, get in.
So, usually we see Ciro Immobile, don't we? Get just banging goals after goals. He got 32. I bet he's like, hey, he got 32 goals this season. And then it's like, Belotti, I've got 8 more than you, though. So, he also got the highest average rating and the most man matches, is no surprise. And Ola Aina, who is a left or right back, has got 11 assists this season. What I am quite interested in, though, if we take a look at past positions, we were once top. We were second for so long.
Yeah, I'm going to say, we just lost it. 3 or 4 weeks at the end of the season, didn't we? Really bad stuff.
Match week 32, we were sat in second place. Yeah. What we could do then is we could take a look at the schedule and have a look at the Serie A. Right about here, I'd say.
Yeah.
Near the end of March, we lost 2 in a row.
Atlanta
drew 3.
Finished above us, so it was the Bologna and Fiorentina games that we drew.
Yeah.
Napoli finished above us, and we lost that game.
Yeah.
And then Lazio finished above us, and we drew that game. So 3 of the games that we lost points on were teams against above us.
Yeah.
So you can't moan about that, really.
I genuinely think
it's the Bologna and Fiorentina game that cost us.
Yeah. Really. I genuinely think the Serie A has one of the most difficult leagues to win because there's so many good teams in it. Yeah. Like in real life, I don't think they're up to the standard of the Premier League, but on Football Manager, they are.
Yeah.
There's some really highly rated players in the Serie A, and I think that's obviously where our problem has laid. One thing that could have happened, which might have been the reason for us not doing very well at the second half of the season, is that halfway through the season we lost Bremer, our centre-back. It was a £24 million deal, which was a release clause. Obviously, once I've started simulating, I can't go and check any of this. Didn't even know it happened until the end of the season. So we lost Bremer at the end, halfway through the season in the January window, which meant defensively we were a little bit vulnerable for the second half of the season, where first season we were all right. Yeah, 45 goals were scored in 41 games from Belotti.
That's good.
Incredible. 10 from Dennis Praet there, but we need to get some more midfield goals if we want to start being a little bit more successful. Aina managed to get 12 assists, Ricci got 10, so that's not bad at all. Now, transfer-wise, I've already submitted the offer for Samuel Ricci. He's 20 years of age. It's got to happen.
Yeah.
But whether I sign anybody else, we've been given £22 million to begin with in this Europa League season. Well, we'll have to go through to the second season, find out who we bought. But before we do, Manscaped are sponsoring today's video. Spring has sprung, and our friends at Manscaped have the best tools for some spring cleaning in your pants. Trust me, your confidence will be blooming just like the flowers in this upcoming spring. It's time to clear out that winter bush and join the other 4 million men who trust Manscaped using the code OMEGA to get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com.
I'll tell you what, mate, you don't realise how big the cucumber is until you trim that surrounding edge.
Manscaped are the global leaders in men's below-the-waist grooming and have forever changed the grooming game with their amazing Performance Package 4.0. Inside this ball care bundle, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all your goodies. This elite trimmer is designed to trim hair on loose skin. Although your balls might look like punching bags, there's no need to treat them like one. And you can benefit from their proprietary skin-safe technology. Look at the light.
Lovely, yeah? I could see it when I was in the shower.
Yeah. And of course, the anti-chafing ball deodorant, which stops the plums sticking to the side of your leg.
And I'll tell you what, since I've been using the ball toner, Mum said my balls never smelled so good.
And if you purchase the package right now, you get 2 free gifts. You get the anti-chafing boxer briefs, and you get this lovely little nifty travel bag by Manscaped.
Yeah.
So get yourself 20% off using my code OMEGA at checkout at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com using code OMEGA. Now, after they gave us £22 million from the Bremer deal, once we had ticked over to the next season, Torino board gave us a little bit more money to spend. So we actually had run about 35 million.
Well, we're in a European competition now, mate.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Gotta get a bit more money, ain't
And we spent 42 in total. Now, the Mandragora deal was already a done deal from Juve. They knocked us out, by the way, of the Coppa Italia in the quarterfinal. We didn't check it, but Dad reminded me. But what I think we have done really well, we have secured Samuel Ricci, £7.25 million. Mandragora, £7.7 million. The next 2 signings I'm really happy with. Lovato. Of course, we just lost our centre-back, so I've brought in an Italian centre-back because we can always rely on them in the Italian league. He's fantastic. Yeah, 22 years of age. From Atalanta, one of the teams that I would say we're rivaling against right now
they
for the best of the
league,
rest.
didn't they?
Yeah.
So
they're in the Champions League spot. Still their players. Yeah. He was on loan last season in the Serie A and played 34 games. Did an okay average rating, but I think his attributes suggest a better player there, and I know he's got a great potential in the game. So Lovato joins us. That's a great signing. We've also were quite weak in our fullbacks, I think. So Fabiano Parisi, another Italian player, only 21.
In a good little squad here, you know.
Yeah, of course. Patreon members, you'll benefit from this. We actually just surpassed 100 Patreon members.
Oh, brilliant!
Last week, which is unbelievable. So thank you so much for all the Patreon members on the £5 tier. Obviously, with my Facebook contract coming to an end now, I'm really relying on you guys to do this still full time. So for the price of a pint, £5, you get loads of extras, but also you support me as a content creator on a monthly basis. So I really do appreciate it. Now, Parisi, we signed for £10.5 million. It is slightly expensive, but what we could possibly bring in is very limited because of the reputation of Torino. Yes, we're in Europa League, but we haven't been in European competitions for a while.
No, we haven't.
So the reputation is not as high as what we'd like it to be able to attract these players in. So he is sort of a player that will take us there, I think, and get us into there. But one of the most important signings, I think, was Alex Murray that we've managed to pick up from Napoli. Goalkeeper. We didn't have a very good goalkeeper last season. He's better. And he's only 25 as well. I think he's sitting on the bench for Napoli. Yeah, he only made 2 appearances last season. I think they played Pepe Reina instead of him. I'm not actually too sure. But yeah, I mean, so we've brought him in for £9 million. It's a good signing considering they spent £19 million on him not so long ago. Good goalkeeper there. And then 2 loan deals. We've got one, Marco Bresciani. It's not an offer to buy in the future, but he's a very good loan player that we can bring in right now, just using as a substitute, I guess. And then the final player, Villar from Spain, that we've loaned from Roma. Good, like, kind of attacking midfielding player that we've got an optional future fee of just short of £5 million. That's really good.
That's good, yeah.
Again, he's only 24. You can last us a lifetime in this rebuild. And that is where we have been obviously picking up players centre mid, because I think tactically we stick as it is. I don't think we need to change it.
Yeah, we've done well.
And I think now we've got to the point where our assistant will know who to play. We've got enough of the decent players in loads of different positions now that I don't have to tell him, hey, make sure you're playing playing Belotti up front because he's not going to go, oh, who should we pick up front? He's not going to make that silly mistake this season. So I think we keep it as it is and we simulate this season before we do. The schedule-wise, we're unbeaten so far.
Ooh, good start.
Look at this. So the 3-2 victory to begin with, Belotti with 2. Then we had a 4-1 victory, Belotti with 3. And look whose name is there every single time.
Get in.
He is being incredible. We also have another 2-1 victory there against Juve. A fantastic result. A 4-1 victory against Roma.
That's a good result, isn't it?
Huge result.
Especially at Roma as well.
The only points we dropped was against Milan, who scored in the 68th minute after Belotti put us 1-0 up. It's incredible.
The last time we won the Coppa Italia was against Roma.
Yeah?
And it finished 5 each.
Oh, what a game
over 2 games.
Yeah.
So we won on away goals.
Yeah.
I think we won 3-0 at home and lost 5-2
Wow.
away. But they won on away goals.
Mental. That's some crazy results, especially for like 90s Italian football.
God, yeah, definitely, yeah. I watched the video of the game as well, just to see what it was like, what the goals were like. Some good goals in it.
Yeah.
But it was quite funny to see, going back at the time, it was when all the long hair, all the Italians had all the long hair.
All the mullets?
Yeah. Oh, it was so funny watching them all. They're all up red and the ball, all the long hair. And now you see all the modern footballers, now they're all bald, aren't they?
Yeah. So, I thought about growing a mullet, but I thought, no, I'll stick with the
I gotta confess, I had a
You
Kevin
had
Keegan one. Yeah,
and you had the big porn star tash as well. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember. So let's take a look at Belotti then, because what an incredible talent he has. We've got people who are wanting him, Liverpool and Manchester United, and he came to me and wanted to leave.
Yeah.
But I said, not for the right price, and we agreed on £83 million as the transfer fee.
Yeah.
He was all right with that. Nobody came in £83 million, so he's staying for the time being.
He has been a good loyal player. I mean, when's he been in? 2015, so...
Yeah, not bad, is it?
That's a good loyal player.
No.
The amount of the goals that he actually scores.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
14 in 6 games so far this season.
Get in.
You can't beat that, can you? Unbelievable statistics. So, okay, we're starting off this season with a bang. We're second place only to Atalanta, who are better on goal difference. Our Europa League group includes Leverkusen, a team I've never even heard of, in Lubin, who is a Polish team. So well done to them for getting to this. Yeah. They have some of the nicest kits and stadium I've ever seen. This is a fantastic team. I like that. That's really good. And Partizan from Serbia. I like to think we can get through that.
Yeah, I would be disappointed if we don't.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't been given. We enter the cup in the 3rd round, so we don't know who we're playing there yet. But yeah, this is a promising start to the season.
Definitely, yeah.
Let's see how we do. Right, so the end of the season, we found ourselves in 6th place.
That's not bad. I'm still happy with that.
Considering we had European football,
yeah,
staying around those positions, I think we've got to be happy with.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
We've dropped off from the top 4, obviously, but it's still, we got to be happy with that.
Yeah.
My only disappointment with it though is Belotti has only doubled his goal tally since the start of the season. 34. Like, he's only got an extra 18 goals compared to the 16 he got at the start.
He might have got injury or something like that.
Possibly, and it's obviously cost us because he is our main goal threat. If he isn't scoring goals, nobody probably is.
No.
How do we do in other competitions then? Let's take a look. 2nd round knockout of the Europa League by Leicester City.
Well, at least we went through.
And we got to the semi-final of the Coppa Italia by Roma.
I just put the curse on us there, just talking about Roma. We beat them, then they would beat us in the semi.
Yeah, you did. They went on and beat Inter Milan, who won the league again, 4-1. So Lazio won it in the first season. Roma have won it the next. Remember that little rivalry that we had when we did the Lazio rebuild?
Yeah.
They are also continuing it by the looks of it. That's fantastic. So the Serie A then, obviously we were some way off. Victor Osimhen got the most goals, Ciro Immobile 2nd, and Belotti was 3rd with 30. So he's not scoring that many in European competitions.
Did we win our European group then? Or?
Well, we can take a look because obviously we had Leverkusen in that group.
Yeah.
How weird that we have Leverkusen. We were supposed to, those are the two that were drawn against each other. Salzburg have won that on penalties.
Yeah.
Fair play. United won the season before. Just goes to show the standard of club that this Europa League is now. We come second. So Leverkusen did win it. The only game that they lost was against Partizan. So we lost twice against them, and we drew against Partizan, but we still managed to go through. Partizan did very well, and quite unlucky really to concede and not go through, but they actually lost in their game against the Polish team, Lubin. If they beat them, they would have gone through above us. So,
that's what you've got to win your own games, things like that.
Yeah.
You take whatever comes after that, don't you?
Exactly. So, goals-wise then, if we take a look, Belotti got 34 and 47. That sec there is a guy that is out on loan. Linetti is a midfielder that's come in, and he has got 12 goals. The rest, like 6. No, we need more, don't we, really? 12 assists from Wilfred Single, who is our right back. However, he did not want to sign a new deal, and he's joining Barcelona on a free. Disappointing. Mandragora did get the second amount of assists there with 10, and that is basically it for the team. So I think we're starting to lack in goals slightly.
Yeah, we need a striker.
Yeah, possibly. All right, let's go through and have a look in the third season. First off, I completed the Gonzalo Villar deal that we have, obviously the loan to buy, but we took that option up because I think it was too good to turn down, that £4.3 million.
Yeah.
He has some great player traits, and plus he can play in both positions on the pitch that we need him to in that centre midfield role. But I think what some of the best deals that we have managed to do was recently, Arthur Thiat is from Bologna, and he's a very good Belgium centre-back. I think I really did like the centre-back that we signed last season.
Yeah.
But I think this guy's even better, and the combination of the two is better than the combination that we started with.
Yeah.
In this rebuild. So he's fantastic. He's only 23 as well. Some fantastic attributes, especially in the mental department. Gets into opposition areas, slightly worrying for a player trait for a centre-back, but we'll let that one slide. Yeah, we picked him up for £11.5 million after they've only just signed him for 4.3, but they did one of those loan to buy deals again. They've played in both seasons, and despite playing for like almost a relegation team, Bologna, he's got quite a good average rating, and he's done all right for us in the first game that we've played. The two signings here, though, both of them from Scandinavia, or even Norway. So the first one, Elias Hagen. We have picked him up, 23, really good attributes. I don't know whether he's been upgraded in the winter update, but he is fantastic. From Bodo Glimt, £2.9 million. Obviously, that really famous Bodo Glimt team that defeated Roma.
Yeah.
7-0, whatever it was, Jose Mourinho's Roma. Embarrassing, he was part of that.
Ooh, we wouldn't have happy with that, would he?
No, not at all. Tagseth from Rosenborg, another Norwegian player. Very similar type of player, but can also play deeper, which is the reason why I picked him up.
First touch, like 17.
Yeah. Really
Very
strong
good.
player.
Work rate 16, that's good as well.
And I think one of the best things about him is that he can also do a job at left back.
Yeah,
and a very good one.
Good squad player then.
Absolutely. Only 22. We picked him up for £4.5 million from Rosenborg. So that's two really good signings there from Norway. On the outs, we didn't really have any. Just a couple of like youngsters going out that we didn't really have any need for. And if we take a look tactically, then we're going to stick exactly how we are. But all I've done is tweak a few of the instructions to make it a little bit more direct and try and include some of these attacking midfielders when we're going forward. Sorry, not direct. We're going shorter passing, but we're working the ball into the box, which means instead of being very rushed to get into the box, it's more of a, can we play and find somebody?
Yeah.
Because I think goals from midfield were lacking. So we're going to see if that plays out and if we improve on that statistic. Schedule-wise, we've only played one game this season, and it was a win. It's very weird how in the second season you play like 9 games before the transfer window, then the third you hardly play any. But there we go. The Dacia Arena, one of my favourite stadiums in Italy, by the way, because that looks absolutely outstanding, doesn't it?
Does look nice, yeah.
An Udinese away win. Belotti, 36 minutes, we've gone 1-0 up. The Europa League group, we've been given Valencia, Olympiacos and Hoffenheim.
Not an easy group.
No, Hoffenheim and Valencia I think may cause us some trouble. We should overcome Olympiacos. Yeah, so I'm excited to see how we do. Let's simulate the third season. So the third season, we're back up into 5th.
It's consistent though, isn't it? We're there or thereabouts all the time, aren't we?
We've had more points. We're closed the gap.
That's the second time we missed on 4th by a point.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that again.
Only 6 losses.
Look at the teams above us. You can't argue with that.
No. We just drew too many games. If you take a look at it, we had the same amount of losses as Lazio did, who won the league, but we had 5 more draws than them. So only 10 points behind top. That's all right, isn't it?
I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Churro Immobile with 39.
Milan, Juventus, Inter Milan, and Lazio, teams above you. That's when you can get in amongst them. That's when you know you're doing well.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. A good third season, to be honest. Other competitions then. So we've been in Europe. We've been in Europa League twice now. We've also haven't really come close enough to that Coppa Italia.
No.
Well, we're the runners-up of the Coppa Italia and the semi-finalists of Europa League,
we had
it's
two.
always bloody Arsenal, isn't it, who knocks us out. Every rebuild, they're there to knock us out.
Two good cup runs in, really.
Yeah, for sure. The 1-0 loss
Milan.
to Milan in the final, very disappointing, unfortunately. It was Skamaka who scored in the 45th minute there. We just didn't play very well. If you take a look at our ratings, Murray in goal was the only one who played half a decent game because he saved 11 shots. It's mental. They had 20 shots and 12 on target, and he saved 11 of them. But our boys just did not turn up, unfortunately. So, yeah, quite disappointing there, really. But what I do notice, actually, sorry to interrupt you there, is our two centre-backs, which aren't Thiat and aren't the Italian centre-back, which his name is deceiving me. I can't remember who it is. Lovato. They're both sat on the bench. So whether there are some kind of injuries and, you know, because we're playing late in Europe and in the league and in the cup, could be a possibility, for instance. So the Europa League then, Arsenal lost after extra time to Valencia, who were in our group, of course. I'm quite curious if we go by the first round knockout stage and have a look at the tree and see what our route through. So after we qualified, we had to beat Club Brugge. We beat them 5-2. We then faced Celtic. 3-1 victory there against Celtic. Now, we got pelters the other day because we said how Celtic are a difficult team to beat in Europe. And then somebody wrote in the comments, are you joking? They're the first ever team to be knocked out of 3 European competitions in one season. Fair enough. You done us.
I just read that as well recently.
Yeah. So that's quite interesting. So that was an easy tie to get through. But then we defeated Dynamo Kiev, who had just beat Sporting. Our previous rebuild that we just done. We beat them 6-3 across 2 legs, and that's where we faced Arsenal, who knocked us out 3-0. They had such an easy route as well. Well, they beat Leverkusen, I guess, but Copenhagen, then Torino, and then they lost against
It's a pity, really, because I was just about to say, but we have been in the UEFA Cup final in 1991-92, and we lost the final to Ajax over 2 legs. We drew 2 each at home. We drew 0-0 away. Just a goal away. So
back when it was the Cup Winners' Cup as well, wasn't it? So it was had a little bit more, I guess, as good as the Champions League.
That would have been interesting for us to get back into the final there, especially playing against Valencia, who we'd already played in our group stage, so we'd have known a little bit about them as well.
Absolutely.
So you always got a good chance then, don't you, really?
Disappointing. I guess I say it's a disappointing season. I think the fans would have enjoyed that season.
Definitely. I mean,
a semi-final of one cup, a final of another.
You can't argue with that, can you? And still finishing 5th.
I
think
absolutely.
That's a good for a team where a team of our stature. Really, that's a good finish. I think.
I agree.
Good season.
I do want to show you. This is quite an interesting little picture here, because this is what the assistant suggests is our best 11. And obviously, the 2 centre backs that we have signed weren't playing in that cup final.
I wonder why that was then.
No, but look how well connected our tactic is when the best 11 is played. For a Football Manager player, this is absolutely beautiful to see when you see them all play together and they're all in this weird loads of green lines, meaning they're playing well together. That is one of the first times I've seen this tactic have that, and I'm like, oh, that's gorgeous to look at. So I just thought Football Manager fans would really appreciate seeing this in this tactic. It's quite a sight to behold, to be honest. But if we take a look at the goals then, 37 from Belotti in 39 appearances. Again, it's a fantastic season again. He's had one little off one, now he's back. I say off, he still scored for over 30 goals. But the main important thing is that...
In the Italian league as well.
That's true.
It's sneezed that, is it?
The main important thing is that we're getting more goals from midfield. 12 from Elias Hagen and 10 from Ricci. And then we've got 9 there from Linetti and 7 from Sanabria, who is our substitute goalkeeper or backup goalkeeper.
There's around 70 goals in it from them 5 players, so that's good, really.
Not bad at all. Right, okay, we'll go through the 4th season then, because there's still some improvements that I think we can make. But I genuinely think this team, because they're quite young and they're growing, it is capable of reaching the top 4. We just need maybe a few little additions.
All you need really is one of those top 4 teams to have a bad season.
That's it.
And we can slip in there.
100%. Well, let's fingers crossed for that next season. Right, well, I want to start here because Sami Ricci has been having a lot of offers coming through to him, including PSG, £37 million in total, and Milan as well in our league, £25 million.
It's hard for any team to turn down PSG in it for money, isn't it?
Yeah, but we are doing it because I really want to hold on to him. He might kick off about it a little bit.
He's got to, really. I mean, you can either stay into the 2 top Inter Milan side and AC Milan side, or go to PSG, which is one of the top teams in Europe, isn't it? Really, you know what do you say to him?
But for now, he is still here. We're trying to keep hold of him as much as we possibly can. We're not bringing in any signings either. And we're not letting anybody go, actually bringing in any money. But we have brought in some players for £26 million. So they are backing us. Yeah. Not a lot, but they are backing us. The first player, Andrea Cambiasso, is another Italian fullback who can play on both sides. That's what I like about him the most.
Yeah.
He has a fairly strong right foot, a very strong left foot, which means we are going to be great using him as a squad player, because obviously we've seen it when you go late into these competitions, you start to lose your first team, which is obviously a problem for us. So I've decided to sign another right back who can play kind of CDM as well in Caligari. Brazilian, it's our first one. So obviously he's a fantastic right back, but he can play in that CDM role. We signed him for £11.75 million, which was a release clause, obviously halfway through Fluminense's season that they have had there. Played 2 games, already got 7.2 average rating.
Good.
Great player.
Yeah.
Now, the final signing that we have made is Giulio Magori, 26-year-old Italian centre midfielder, again, who can play in both of those roles. But I think if we put him in that centre midfield on attack, this is probably his best position. He has 13 for finishing. We know with that centre midfield on attack from seeing some of the goals that we're scoring, they were always buzzing in around the area.
Yeah.
The reason maybe they're not scoring as many is because their finishing is quite lax.
Yeah.
This guy has good finishing. He's also good at passing. He's also good at dribbling. His first touch is immaculate. He has great decision making, great positioning, vision, stamina, natural fitness.
Yeah.
This guy's quality.
Yeah.
Really is. Very, very
good.
good.
Well, 6 foot.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got him from Spezia in our league. They're down the bottom, but he's still been playing very well. Not getting that many goals and assists, but they are scrapping down there.
Scored 1 for us already in 2 games.
Straight away, scored 1 and got a 7.15 average rating. We're using him in the correct way. Because tactically, we are sticking exactly where we are. It's being successful, and it's appeasing the board, who still want us to play defensive football.
Yeah.
So the desired play style is play defensively solid football, and they're pleased with that. We've got to just keep going with it, because it is kind of being successful.
Yeah.
You know, we could have won a cup, we could have got to the final of
we've been there with
Europa
thereabouts, haven't we? The next one's a good one as well. Sign players under the age of 23.
Yeah, and they're delighted with that.
And we have done.
Yeah.
We've been signing really good young players coming through, haven't we?
So we're doing exactly what the board want us to do to try and stay on track and see how we do with that. So schedule-wise then, we've played 2 so far. Spezia, we beat them 2-0 there. But we lost 2-1 to Empoli, which is a bad result, really. Yeah. And they did score quite late on, 88th minute there. I guess it's one of those results. Yeah. You get them every now and then, don't you, in the season.
Definitely,
a game that we definitely should be winning. Europa League group's a difficult one, though.
Yeah.
Really difficult one. That's the hardest group that I think we could possibly get, really. Final to Marseille, 2 very difficult teams. I think you're chugging Hoffenheim as well.
You've got to win your own games and hopefully get a draw away against one of them 2 top ones in your really.
Yeah, absolutely. But they're not going to want to play against us, not when we've got Andrea Bellotti in our team. So, let's simulate it. It's the 4th season and see how we do. So, 4th season Champions League football next year.
Gets in.
We finished in 4th place, joint 3rd, with Napoli.
That was a pity, wasn't it?
But we are still 20 points off Inter Milan,
yeah.
who after one season not winning the league went, oh, hold on a minute. Let's take this seriously now. Bellotti got 30 goals this season, but Caligari with the highest average rating of 7.31. Ricardo Rodriguez, a left back, got himself 11 assists. So if we take a look at the league, we had a great end of the season by the looks of it. We only lost a couple of games there. So on the grand scheme of things, we did very well. 6 points above 5th.
Take that every day.
Yeah, and we actually had the best defence in the league. 26 goals conceded only.
Well, that answers one question, doesn't it? We don't need it there, do we? We need anything a little bit more going forward, because I don't think our goal difference was that good.
No, we've only scored 60.
Yeah.
But only conceded 26.
I mean, even Napoli, 81 goals above us, and they joint points with us.
Yeah.
If we had scored a few more goals, we would have probably gone above them.
Yeah, because we lost more than them.
Yeah.
But it's because they just keep scoring more. So that's quite impressive, really. We had the fewest conceded, the most clean sheets, and we had the most tackles. But we are probably near the bottom, we're 6th there, for the most goals. Yeah. Considering we finished in the top 4, it's quite low, really, isn't it? Which is quite interesting there. So
we got the defence sorted out.
We got the defence sorted out. We just need to score more going forward. All right, okay. Other competitions then. How have we done? Well, we're knocked out the quarterfinals by Juventus again in the Coppa Italia, and the 2nd round knockout by Benfica. We qualified from that group. It was a difficult one.
Yeah.
It's to be played through AC Milan and Man United in the final still. deal. But yeah, let's take a look at the stages and take a look at our group and see how that played out, because it's quite an interesting group. I felt we had topped it as well.
Top of the group.
Top of the group. We only lost to Feyenoord away 3-4 in a very competitive game.
Yeah.
We mentioned how we are barely scoring goals. We go to Europe, we're like, let's score all the goals. 3 goals away from home. We got a 1-1 draw against Marseille, which is obviously still a fantastic result. And then look, we didn't even concede a goal at home in Europe.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
That is insane. That's like
the 2 top teams we beat 4-0.
Yeah, nobody wanted to come to us. No. We are like the standard Italian team where it's like, oh god, we've got to go to Torino next week. We're gonna get hammered, and they're not even gonna concede a goal.
We're known as the Bulls.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a fantastic result. It's just unfortunate, obviously, we didn't manage to carry it into a trophy. But if we do take a look at that, we drew 0-0 away from home at Benfica, which is difficult to do. Yeah. We mentioned in the Sporting Rebuild how good an attacking Portuguese football is. But then when they came to us, they did manage to score. One of them was a penalty. We then we had to push for a goal because Everton also scored in the 46 minutes. Disappointing. But what an end of the season as well, because we lost 2 games where we lost 3-0. Sassuolo one was a bit dodgy. Inter Milan, obviously, they're top. They've signed Karim Adeyemi, Tammy Abraham, and Zapata up front, which is mental that they've managed to get Tammy Abraham from AC Milan.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
That's crazy. But if you take a look, other than those 2 games, we didn't concede a goal since March. So we drew against Napoli, we beat Atalanta 1-0, Lazio 2-0, 3-0 against Venezia, the club shirt that I've got on right now. It's the classic, by the way, 1997. Benevento 1-0, Udinese 1-0, and Cagliari 2-0. Defensively, we are so good.
We're up for
It's mental.
1 season left. Can we win something?
Exactly.
Come on.
And we've got Champions League football.
Yes.
So the squad-wise then, we've got 30 goals from Andrea Belotti, 10 from Hagen. Again, it's that midfield where we're not scoring enough goals, and we only got 11 assists from Ricardo Rodriguez. Belotti only getting 7, sat in second place. But performance-wise, we've got quite a lot of people who have high average ratings. We're just not bringing in the goals. Let's go forward to the 5th season. So for the final season then, £25 million was spent to make this team competitive in the Champions League. We did not get given a lot. No, because we didn't sell any players even to make money. That's the trouble.
Yeah.
David Patella was the first name on the sheet. £8 million at centre-back. I think, yes, our starting 11's great, but our backups are so bad that there's a big gap in ability-wise, and we need to do what Liverpool are doing in real life and buying the players which are going to challenge the first team. David Patella does that. A good young centre-back, again, Italian as well, who maybe needs another opportunity, another chance. He's been playing at Udinese. He's got a good game, well, got a few games there, but before that, he wasn't playing hardly any football at all. So £8 million we bring him to the club. Luca Ranieri, almost in the same boat, to be honest. He can play left back, but he can also play centre back, and that's the reason why I signed him, because 6'2", he's decent enough to play centre back should we need him to. Great signing. Fagioli from Juve, another centre midfielder who can play CDM or centre mid or even go further forward. Tries killer balls often, is a great player trait to have as well. £3.6 million. He's barely played football. We're going to give him an opportunity to do that this season. Great signing. Valentin Antov is the final signing from Spezia again. We've gone back to the Spezia fountain of football players. A Bulgarian player, but he plays in that CDM role and he can play centre back. So what you've noticed here is I'm signing a lot of players who can play in a number of different positions.
Yeah, good squad then.
Trying to make use of the money that we have.
24-year-old to have 30 caps for Bulgaria is good as well.
Yeah, it's impressive, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he has some fantastic mental attributes. These are the mental attributes that you need when you're in the later stages of a cup competition.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
To see out a game, bring him on as a substitute when he has like 18 work, you know he's going to be playing for the badge.
Yeah.
Great leadership abilities as well. Dictates tempo, doesn't dive into tackle. He's got a great head on his shoulders. So 24 years of age, we only signed him for £11 million. He's played 2 seasons there in Italian football, and he's done very well, to be honest, considering Spezia are a relegation team.
At least he knows the league as well, so that's even better then, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So great signing, I think. So how have we set up? We have just changed a few little roles again, but we're sticking with this 4-2-3-1.
I thought you would have changed it for the last season.
You think? Yeah.
I thought you might have done.
We've gone a little bit more attacking, I will be honest, because we've gone for a sweeper keeper, which does add like a little bit of quickness to your attacks, and we've also started defending, forcing the opposition out wide, but we've pushed the line slightly higher instead of they were standard before. So this is what we're looking at now. So we're almost like doing the same thing, but just a little bit further up the pitch.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to do. And obviously with that, our goalkeeper now is sat on the edge of our box instead of the edge of his 6-yard box.
Yeah.
So that if we do win the ball further up the pitch, we stand more of a chance of scoring a goal. That was my thinking in behind that. For the final season though, let's take a look at the assistant report. This is what he would suggest is our best 11. And I tend to agree with this, to be honest. This is probably our best 11 if we take a look at it. But squad depth looks a lot more appealing just by the fact of how many players in positions have that 3.5 star, especially in midfield. Really happy with that. Belotti is really our main man up top, but we do have Maliko, who did have like a high potential a few years ago. Hasn't really lived up to it in real life, which means he's dropped off in the game. But yeah, I think we could do something this year. I really do. Schedule-wise, 3-1 victory against Sassuolo, but an away draw, 0-0 draw to Monza. They're named after a Grand Prix track, for Christ's sake. Don't come at me with that. I'm only joking. Of course I am. But yeah, a 0-0 draw at Monza. But look, our Champions League group. Look who's there again. It's Bayer Leverkusen.
And Real Madrid.
And Real Madrid and Benfica. It's a very difficult group.
Going with Real Madrid, when we got to the UEFA Cup final in 91-92 season, we lost against Ajax.
Yeah.
We actually beat Real Madrid.
En route to the final?
In the semi-final.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We lost 2-1 at Madrid, but won 2-0 at home.
Oh, we did exactly what we did last season.
Yeah.
Come to us. You're not gonna score a goal. I mean, Real Madrid in the 90s were still decent.
Oh, good side.
Especially early 90s.
Yeah.
I know, like, obviously Cruyff's Barcelona started to take over, like late early 90s, but I think Real Madrid still had a very good team at the start.
I didn't see the video of that game to see who was playing, but I just thought, well, they beat Real Madrid in the semi-final.
Yeah.
But I wanted to find out who they lost to in the final then, really. So that's why I watched the game of the Ajax game.
God, that's unfortunate.
So,
but yeah, I mean, can we do the same here?
Yeah.
Not concede against Real Madrid in the final season. Well, let's take a look and simulate
Get the balls
this final
to bring
season.
them into our ring. That's what we say.
Exactly, in the ball ring.
Yeah.
So the final season, we sit in 4th place.
A point off again, look.
A point off third. Yeah, Sassuolo as well, who managed to get up there.
I mean, the one good thing there, we got closer to the team that won the league this time. That's the closest we've been.
6 points. 6 points adrift
So
from
it
Lazio.
was a tight season then, really.
Very tight season, especially like considering I think Inter won it by like 96 points or 92 points, whatever it was. So yeah, it's a lot closer at the top there. Juve haven't been up there at all, have they?
No.
Dropped off massively.
I think they've been above us one season.
Yeah, but if you look, relegated Monza.
That's the team we lost to in the
and that's
first game.
we drew, didn't we? 0-0.
Yeah.
Away from home. You know, we get another 2 points there, and we're sat in 3rd place, only 1 point behind Inter Milan. It's tight, isn't it? It's very, very tight. But obviously, we had other competitions. How did we do? We got to the quarterfinals of Europa League, but we were also the runners-up in the Coppa Italia. Napoli. We lost 1-0 to Napoli.
So obviously we got knocked out of the Champions League as well then, because we was in the
we finished 3rd in the
Europa
group.
League.
We finished 10 points though.
That's good, really.
Yeah, I mean Leverkusen, they only managed to lose twice. One was against us when they came to us, and they lost to Real Madrid. So they actually beat Real Madrid.
Yeah.
That's obviously what's cost
So
us.
who did
there.
Real Madrid lose then?
Real Madrid lost 1 to us. We beat them. I told you we beat them 1-0. We beat them 2-0, so there we go.
No one
Real
else coming to our ground, do they?
come all the way to Torino and they lose 1-0. But Benfica didn't even win a game. So we beat all 3 clubs at home and only conceded twice.
We're unlucky.
We've created a fortress at home. If only we could play the Coppa Italia in our home ground instead of Lazio's, we'd be absolutely fine. Oh, that's disappointing, isn't it? But there we go, that's fine. Never mind. If we take a look at the schedule, actually, we can see it's quarter-final of Valencia against Valencia. We've obviously gone through a couple of stages there. So we beat AZ Alkmaar 2-1 in both legs there. We had a tricky area there in the league because we lost to Atalanta, Sampdoria and Lazio. 5-1 victory against Atalanta right after in the Cup. The end of the season's quite a weird one because we have really good stages and a bad stage. But this is where obviously we were knocked out by Valencia. 1-1 at home, 2-1 away. We just couldn't keep a clean sheet against them. That's disappointing, really. We did beat Lille 2-0 away from home after keeping a 0-0 draw there. It's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is a shame. Disappointing. But there we go. Fantastic little rebuild, I think. We didn't quite get any trophies, but we've definitely taken the reputation of Torino to a new level.
Yeah.
Back to where they used to be, in that top 4. Belotti scored 44 goals this season. Lucic and Ricci both got 11 goals. Not bad at all. Fantastic season for them. I think I can guess what your goal for the next 5 seasons is going to be, but why don't you let them know?
I think your biggest challenge is going to be keeping Belotti.
Yeah.
He's going to want to go, I think. And then the decision is then, do you sell him to get more money in to buy another striker than play 2 up front?
Yeah, because he's 32 now.
Yeah, and then go for it. So if it was me, I'd cash in.
Yeah.
I'd see what the biggest bid for him and then take it.
Yeah.
You know?
He got a good... Still good, though. Yeah, very good.
You've got a good squad there. Get another young striker in and go for it. But my challenge mainly is going to be win the Coppa Italia, but stay in the top 4.
Yeah.
Possibly split them and get into the top 3 or top 2.
Yeah.
I think it'd be brilliant if you could win the league, but
5 years is definitely doable because how gradual we've got to the top.
Do something that we didn't do with the team. Win a bit of silver.
Yeah.
That'd be my main challenge for you.
Absolutely. I think the trouble is the reason why I had to stick with that tactic is because of that club vision.
Yeah.
That club vision is a requirement of an extreme importance of play solid defensive football.
To be honest with you, though, any Italian side, we all know Italian sides are defensive sides, and their best players are always the defenders, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you get the odd striker come through,
bit of flair up front.
Bit of flair, yeah, and they always find them every time there's a World Cup. They always find them. Then they come from somewhere, never heard of him before, and all of a sudden he's a striker. It's 4 or 5 goals, and then he goes on from there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So the Italians are well known for the defensive play. So you can't knock the board for asking us to do it. We've done it. We've done well, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Hats off. I think we've done really well there.
Yeah, it's the first time that I've tried to play in a defensive way and it's paid off. So there we go. That's something new for me for Football Manager. But thank you very much for watching. Smash the like button if you can. That would be amazing. And keep letting us know your suggestions down below. Again, we don't want to see any stupid ones. Like I had Newport County the other day and I thought,
we like Newport County.
Yeah, we can't just do come on, let's give me some honest suggestions that you'd like to see going forward and maybe a reason why, and I'll keep adding them to my list, and every time they get suggested a few times, they go to the Patreon poll. So Patreon members, thank you very much for your support. Really do appreciate it in this time now that I've lost the Facebook contract. You are crucial and vital for me doing this. Yeah, it's crucial and vital for me doing this full time. So else I got to go back to employment, and obviously videos may start to suffer, and that's going to be disappointing. So thank you very much. £5 tier gets to you to obviously gets a save game file. Your challenge is to win a bit of silverware, possibly change around the club vision and something, and break into those top 2. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the next rebuild. Bye bye.